Alrighty, welcome everybody. My name is Artie, creator of The Moving Average, and your instructor for this lesson. This is a basic overview of TradingView and the tools that it offers. So if you've already become familiar with TradingView, you don't need to watch this video. But if you are new into trading and you want to learn how to use these tools properly, keep watching. So once you go to tradingview.com, there's going to be a blue icon on the top right hand side. You can click that to get started. I suggest logging in or creating an account if you don't want here, and that is the volume indicator. You can see that right here. You can remove it by more than 3 indicators on the chart, so it's extremely charts. You have all of your settings right here. Sign in, get the desktop app, including turning on a light and or dark theme. Or if you need help finding something in here and you don't want to search for it, you can actually just type it in the search bar right here. Again, with the Pro version, you can have multiple layouts for different types of trading strategies that you have. I personally have about 5 layouts because I'm constantly making videos. All right, now first I want to talk about this top toolbar right here. We're going to go from left to right, starting with consistent results across the board. So every time you start it, I think out to the one to your favorites indicator that you want. For example, the RSI or chart, if the indication as it goes on. This along with your question, wherever you'd like. I use little balloons, whatever you want to do. And next up is going to be icons. You can see there are a plethora of things to use here to add to your 1D means the daily chart, meaning go up right here underneath that spread. You can change the settings of these and change the length of the moving average to whatever you would like. A 21 is a good bet, or if you want a solid trend, the 200 is better. Once you have that on your chart, it will adjust according to whatever parameters you set, and you can always delete it or change the settings right here, or makes it very confusing, so I suggest staying away from it altogether. But you can of your account, you will grow 3.86% of your account on this one trade. Then if we want to see how long.
Hey guys, this is Jenks from the trading floor, and I'm here to give you a quick guide on how to set up your TradingView chart for general use. First and foremost, I highly recommend changing the colors of your candles away from the default red and green. We want to limit our exposure to anything that may affect our psychology while trading, and the colors red and green, especially when paired with each other, can create strong psychological triggers. Let's double click the candles to pull up that menu. You can use any colors you like. For now, I'm going to use yellow for bullish candles and white for bearish. We can also go ahead and set the outline and wick colors to match. From here, the rest of the features I'll show you will mostly be aesthetic and functionality choices. The candle colors are the only part of the setup I truly recommend for everyone. I recommend leaving the last price line on, as it's helpful at a glance to see where current price is. Previous day close will show you the price at the close of yesterday's session and can be helpful for some people. High and low shows the high and low of what's currently visible on your chart and doesn't really have much use in practical trading. The bid and ask lines are useful if you're trading directly in TradingView. That will generally be for futures traders, but also for anybody paper trading directly in TradingView. You can leave precision at default and set your time zone to your local time. I'll briefly click through all the options on the status line so you can see exactly what they toggle, but these will boil down to how clean you want the top left corner of your chart to be. You don't technically need anything on this tab to trade. On the scales tab, you'll find a lot of similar options to the price line options back on the symbols tab. The one box I highly recommend having checked on this page is countdown to bar close, as this will keep a running time of how long the current candle has left until the start of the new one. For functionality, I turn everything but that countdown off. The Canvas tab gives you some creative freedom on the aesthetic of your chart. Grid lines can serve a practical purpose technically, as they could aid you in quickly eyeballing the strength of an impulse relative to another one on your visible chart. Here's where you can turn them off or on and also change the color of your background. The buttons refer to the arrows that show up on the bottom of your chart to help you move around if you don't want to click and drag or use your mouse wheel to zoom. Again, for cleanliness, I turn everything off. The Trading tab is used for anyone who wants to paper trade or live trade directly in TradingView, and this is where you can turn on and off the buttons if you have an account set up to trade. Since I don't use TradingView to paper trade, I turn everything off. The Events tab is where you can turn on these little markers on the bottom of your chart that denote things like economic news or earnings releases in the case of stocks. I just leave it as is. Once you get a setup you like or close to it, I recommend coming down here and saving it so you can always access it. Now let's set up a favorites toolbar. On the left side of the chart, there are multiple menus of different drawing tools you can use to assist you in your trading. I can't cover every single tool today, but here's a few that are very commonly used among traders and may be worth favoriting for you. the trend line, horizontal line, vertical line, Fibonacci retracement, brush and or highlighter, rectangle, path, text and or anchored text, long and short position, and date and price range. Now that we have them favorited, if you ever need to pull up your favorite drawings toolbar, you can press this star in the bottom left of the screen. Now that we have all of that set up, let's take a few seconds to mark out our favorite timeframes. We can come up to this arrow here next to the symbol and click to find a dropdown of many timeframes. We can favorite the ones we'll use the most and add more at the bottom if you like. If you are looking to add an indicator to your chart to assist you in trading, you'd press the Indicators button. You can favorite these two for easy access later. If you need to adjust the settings of the indicator for any reason, you'd click this gear button here. If you want to delete it from your chart entirely, you'd click this X button. Now that we have TradingView set up how we want, let's go over here to where it says Unnamed and click Rename so we can save this layout for the future.
Hello, so this video is going to be for those members who are trying to figure out how to download, install, and also use MT4 platform. There is MT5 version as well. It is exactly the same for the most part. So if you are somebody who is going to upgrade to MT5, please feel free to watch this video and still follow the same steps. However, MT4 is the most commonly used platform when it comes to placing trades through your broker. There is the opportunity to trade through TradingView directly, depending on your broker. And if you have a broker that is supported through TradingView, you are one of the lucky ones, and you can trade directly through TradingView. However, many of us are stuck trading with MT4, meaning we will do our markups and analysis on TradingView. Then we will go to MT4 to actually place the trade with our broker. Many brokers are still using MT4 to execute their trades. So if you are one of these people who need to download MT4 and you are new to this and looking at just a general idea of how to use MT4, this video will be helpful for you. So I have here KOT4X. This is a broker that I personally do use. You will just go to your personal broker's website, and what you will do is look for their download. So you can see here on KOT4X website, they have download MT4, and then they have for Windows, whatever you guys are downloading it for. So you would pick your version. I have Windows, so I'm going to click it, and we are downloading now. So once that downloads, we'll open it. Then we're going to agree to all the stuff and let it install. Just a quick side note, MT4 thinks they're real slick and they try to divert you to their storefront first. So you may have to sign up through them. If you might have to go through that step, but don't get lost in the storefront side of it. It's just kind of their way of diverting you guys. So if you just stay on track here and follow what I'm doing, you should avoid getting lost in the store area. Okay, so it has downloaded now. And basically this will pop up for you where it has open an account. You can pick which type of account you want. So there's demo, there's lives. Because I'm doing this for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you guys with a demo account. So we'll click next. And then if you have an existing account, you would click here. So if you already have an account somewhere else and somehow you signed up for one, you would click here, add in your credentials. If you want a new demo one, you would click here, and this would be a new real account, meaning you want a live account. So then you're going to come to this page and basically you'll fill in your information. Make sure you fill in your own, do not copy mine. Once you have all of that filled in, you can then come to your deposit amount and you can pick whatever size account you would want to pick to use. Remember that if you're doing this on a live account, that you're going to pick the amount that you're actually going to deposit. If you're doing this on a demo account, please pick an amount that mimics something similar to what you actually expect to trade. Don't go picking like a $500,000 account if in reality you're going to be trading only with like $1,000. You want to make sure that you're treating your demo account as realistic to a live account as possible. So that way you get a feel for the trade management on that size account. I typically trade with 100K account, somewhere between 100K to a 200K. So we're just going to pick that. The leverage you can change if you want. 1 to 500 is what comes with this broker. Depending on your broker, this may be different numbers. 1 to 500 is pretty high. Most people really shouldn't be trading with that much leverage, or shouldn't need it at least if you're trading safely. Typically, I would say somewhere like 1 to 100. If you are somebody who is trading with prop firms or looking to trade with prop firms, most of them allow 1 to 100. If you're somebody who's looking to do that, you may want to make sure that you select the 1 to 100 instead of 1 to 500. Okay, so now it creates your login credentials for you. This is the demo account. This is your login password if you are going to be trying to get in on it on your phone as well, because you can download MT4 app on your phone and you would just use the same login credentials. So that way if you're placing trades on your computer maybe during the morning or whenever, and you want to go about your day still but be able to check your trades, you can still do that through the app on your phone. So you would want to keep this login information somewhere safe. So now you're logged in, your account is set up. This is a standard screen you'll see where they put up 4 charts at a time. Most people don't actually keep up 4 at a time, but if you want to, you can. If not, you can close them out and just make one big one. The other thing that you will find is that it kind of like gets loaded with these preset indicators like the CCI. You know, you could leave it be if you want, but I personally don't care for them. So if you right click on the screen, go to properties, then come in here, you can get rid of a couple of your things. I don't really care to have the grids. They kind of bother me, to be quite honest, so I do get rid of them, and that will fix that for me. To get the indicator off of here, what you'll do is right click, So this video is going to be for those members who are trying to figure out how to download, install, and also use MT4 platform. There is MT5 version as well. It is exactly the same for the most part. So if you are somebody who is going to upgrade to MT5, please feel free to watch this video and still follow the same steps. However, MT4 is the most commonly used platform when it comes to placing trades through your broker. There is the opportunity to trade through TradingView directly, depending on your broker. And if you have a broker that is supported through TradingView, you are one of the lucky ones, and you can trade directly through TradingView. However, many of us are stuck trading with MT4, meaning we will do our markups and analysis on TradingView, then we will go to MT4 to actually place the trade with our broker. Many brokers are still using MT4 to execute their trades. So if you are one of these people who need to download MT4 and you are new to this and looking at just a general idea of how to use MT4, this video will be helpful for you. So I have here KOT4X. This is a broker that I personally do use. You will just go to your personal broker's website, and what you will do is look for their download. So you can see here on KOT4X website, they have download MT4, and then they have for Windows, whatever you guys are downloading it for. So you would pick your version. I have Windows, so I'm going to click it, and we are downloading now. So once that downloads, we'll open it. Then we're going to agree to all the stuff. and let it install. Just a quick side note, MT4 thinks they're real slick and they try to like divert you to their like storefront first. So you may have to sign up through them. If you might have to go through that step, but don't get lost in the storefront side of it. It's just kind of their way of like diverting you guys. So if you just stay on track here and follow what I'm doing, you should avoid getting lost in the store area. Okay, so it has downloaded now. And basically this will pop up for you where it has open an account. You can pick which type of account you want. So there's demo, there's lives. Because I'm doing this for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you guys with a demo account. So we'll click next. And then if you have an existing account, you would click here. So if you already have an account somewhere else and somehow you signed up for one, you would click here, add in your credentials. If you want a new demo one, you would click here, and this would be a new real account, meaning you want a live account. So then you're going to come to this page and basically you'll fill in your information. Make sure you fill in your own, do not copy mine. Once you have all of that filled in, you can then come to your deposit amount and you can pick whatever size account you would want to pick to use. Remember that if you're doing this on a live account, that you're going to pick the amount that you're actually going to deposit. If you're doing this on a demo account, please pick an amount that mimics something similar to what you actually expect to trade. Don't go picking like a $500,000 account if in reality you're going to be trading only with like $1,000. You want to make sure that you're treating your demo account as realistic to a live account as possible. So that way you get a feel for the trade management on that size account. I typically trade with 100K account, somewhere between 100K to a 200K. So we're just going to pick that. The leverage you can change if you want. 1 to 500 is what comes with this broker. Depending on your broker, this may be different numbers. 1 to 500 is pretty high. Most people really shouldn't be trading with that much leverage, or shouldn't need it at least if you're trading safely. Typically, I would say somewhere like 1 to 100. If you are somebody who is trading with prop firms or looking to trade with prop firms, most of them allow 1 to 100. If you're somebody who's looking to do that, you may want to make sure that you select the 1 to 100. Okay, so now it creates your login credentials for you. This is the demo account. This is your login password if you are going to be trying to get in on it on your phone as well, because you can download MT4 app on your phone and you would just use the same login credentials. So that way if you're placing trades on your computer maybe during the morning or whenever, and you want to go about your day still but be able to check your trades, you can still do that through the app on your phone. So you would want to keep this login information somewhere safe. So now you're logged in, your account is set up. This is a standard screen you'll see where they put up 4 charts at a time. Most people don't actually keep up 4 at a time, but if you want to, you can. If not, you can close them out and just make one big one. The other thing that you will find is that it kind of like gets loaded with these preset indicators like the CCI. You know, you could leave it be if you want, but I personally don't care for them. So if you right click on the screen, go to properties, then come in here, you can get rid of a couple of your things. I don't really care to have the grids. They kind of bother me, to be quite honest, so I do get rid of them, and that will fix that for me. To get the indicator off of here, what you'll do is right click on indicators list, and then this commodities channel index, you can click that, just click delete, and then that will get rid of that off your screen. Now you just have a nice clean screen. I personally just like it like this when I'm placing my trades on MT4. I find that if I try to make my chart busier, what I will do is talk myself out of trades. And I've already committed to the idea that I want to take that trade on TradingView. So I try not to get too caught up in like the comparing of the two. If I've committed on TradingView, then I execute the trade on MT4. That's just a little tip for you guys, like what I personally do. I try to keep this actual MT4 chart as simple and clean as possible, so I'm not tempted to get distracted or potentially like change my mind. So this part is very important. They like to be sneaky, the brokers. lines and leave out what we call an ask line. So there is the price line that you will see during the market moving, and then there is an ask line. The ask line is important because that's what the broker is asking for. That's the price the broker is going to open and close your trade at versus what the market is actually trading at. So that's where you get this thing called a spread. So that would be the difference between what the asking price is for your broker and what the actual market price is. So you want to make sure you put that line on, and a lot of times they will leave it off. So if you right click here, click on properties again, and if you come into your settings, you'll see that they are very clever and they do not automatically put on the show ask line. So you have to come in and click on the show ask line. Add that on, and then that will add it onto the chart for you. So here's an example of what the ask line means. I do apologize. At the time that I am recording this, it is actually Saturday, so the regular market is closed, so it's kind of hard to show you guys this, but I am going to show it to you on a Bitcoin pair since Bitcoin is always trading no matter what. So as you can see here, the price here is this price at 40117. That's what the actual price is of Bitcoin at this moment. But the broker's price is saying that it's 40180. So that is the ask price. So this difference in this line and here at this level, that is your spread that you would have to cover, meaning the market would need to move beyond that. Say you were buying, the market would need to come from this level and pass that point. If you bought in at that level where it was, you would need to cover that distance before you would see profit. Be careful and mindful of your spreads, but I want you guys to remember to put your ask price on, because you may find a trade that you think looks fantastic, but then you come into MT4 and you realize the spread is way too big and you do not want to have to take that trade because it wouldn't make sense anymore. So make sure you put the ask line on. Okay, so now that you're into your platform and you've kind of cleaned up your chart a little bit, you put the ask line on, you have a couple of different things that we can go through. There is at the top here just very basic things like your files. You can kind of go through all of that. The most important thing that you would need to get started on here is just the open the accounts or the login accounts, which we already did in the beginning. But if you download it and miss it and you don't know how to get back to logging into an account, or you want to start a new demo account, you would either hit on open an account, restart over, or you could hit into log into a trade account and you would log in to your login password and then pick your server. Then you have your view, which is like viewing, toolbar, status bars, all of this stuff, symbols, market watch, all of this stuff. You guys can kind of play around with all of these things a little bit. This is your indicators. If you wanted to add actual indicators onto your charts, like you want to add on ATR, you could just click on that and then it adds it on. But like I said, I don't typically add them on, but you guys can absolutely use the indicators and go ahead and play around with them and see if that helps you better or not. There is the ability to use the free indicators built into MT4 as well. And then there's like lines if you want to draw and do markups, channels. The same stuff that you have on TradingView is on here. Most people like TradingView. It is a little bit more sophisticated. MT4 is a little more old school, but all the same things are still available on here. So that's under insert and you would find all the different tools that you would want to add on. There's different things you can do with charts. You can change your candlesticks and time frames if you want to do something different, but your time frames are also built in up here as well. So you can go through your different time frames and see what they're doing. But if for some reason you want a different time frame, you could do it here too. You can save templates, meaning like if you put a bunch of indicators on or whatever you like on your screen, and you can save it. So that way, if you want to make changes, again, you don't have to go back and constantly be changing it. You can just pull up your saved template. And then you guys can see Windows, Tools, Help. So all this stuff is all here. So that's kind of the basic stuff at the top. As far as things go down here, you can kind of play around once you get in here, and I highly suggest you do download a demo and just kind of play around. But new chart would mean it would clear the chart for you and you could pick whatever you would want. You don't really need too many of these symbols all that much. Zooming in, zooming out, like sometimes you'll use them, but for the most part, they're kind of just reiterating what could have been found up in here. Auto trading is something that you should only be clicking on if you have a risk management calculator on. That is considered like an EA calculator, and that is going to like auto calculate for you based on the market, or if you have like an EA bot that is trading for you. Otherwise, if you are a manual trader and you want to manually execute your trades, meaning you want to be able to enter when you want and exit when you want, make sure you don't click on that, just to avoid any issues. And then down here, again, lines and things like that, just kind of reiterating what was able to be found up here, and your time frames as well. And this is Market Watch here. This Market Watch is where you can find your pairs. So it will set you with very basic Forex pairs to begin with. If you want to see more, what you will do is you will right click here in the box. You will then hit on symbols, and you can see all the different symbols that they allow. So you can get all of your Forex pairs here, Forex crosses, like you guys can add on whatever it is you want. Indexes are here. You'll just click on what you want, click on show and close, and now it is on your list down here. The DAX has now been added. So you can do that as well to be able to get it onto the chart. So say you, right now we're looking at Bitcoin up here, but say you want to look at the DAX, you just grab it, drop it, and it will load it for you. So now the DAX is up here. So that's what is on your screen. Say you want to look at USD instead, drag it, drop it, and you can now look at USD JPY. That's the very basics of dragging and dropping them, but please make sure that you always double check before you place an actual trade that you are on the proper chart for the trade you want to place, because if you are on the wrong chart, it's going to take that trade for a different pair. So make sure that you're always double checking up here that the actual pair you want to trade is on the chart that you're about to enter that trade into. So make sure you're being careful with that. It can get overwhelming if you end up having a lot of charts open. I suggest only having one at a time while you're learning and just pulling them over. So like I showed, drag and drop and say, okay, this is the one I want to trade. That way you limit yourself from making any mistakes. For now, we'll look at BTC because that's actually opening and moving. So I can show this to you. If you come down to here on the bottom, this is your terminal area. This is where your trade, hit on the trade button. This will show you your account balance, your equity, and your free margin. Exposure is another thing. You don't really need to be in there, but you can. Account history, once we take a trade, all of our trades will be listed under there. There's news, alerts that you can set. Mailbox is where you get mail sent to you through them. Market is a marketplace where you can come in and you can like search for different things you can buy. If you come up here, you can type in like whatever it is you want to search for, and then it'll search all of the different libraries for you. So there's expert advisors, indicators, libraries, utilities, favorites, and downloads. So you guys can also like peek in there and see what they have as well. And then just all the other stuff that they kind of offer down here at the bottom. For the most part though, you'll be hanging out here in the trade section. What I want to show you is the navigator bar, which is up here. So you can see you're in your KOT Forex account. And then right now we only have one account open, but if you have multiple accounts, you can add them in here and then you would be able to toggle through your different accounts. You might have KOT Forex on here, then you might have like another broker that you have, and then maybe another account, maybe a funded account. Like they would all be listed here, so you could just click through them and it would bring them up. You wouldn't have to have like 5 or 6 different MT4s on your desktop. You could manage them all through one MT4. You just need to have the logins from those particular brokers. The indicators list, like I said, all under here as well. So if you want to get to them that way. Expert advisors again, these are preloaded that they put on there. You will find under expert advisors will be the trading floors risk calculator that you guys get. If you download it, that's where yours will be. And otherwise, that is the basics of this. So you've seen now the basics of installing it, how to log in, and how to set up the basics of the account, and just like quick overview of navigating through these buttons and what everything does. You guys should though play around with it a little bit more, make sure you're comfortable with it before ever starting to live trade. But the purpose of using this is to actually place trades. So I'm going to show you guys how you would place a trade. There are a couple of ways you can go ahead and place a trade. What you'll see at the top here is something called one-click trading. You'll see a sell button and a buy button. And in the middle here, you can see your lot sizes, which you can adjust to whatever your lot size you want to trade with would be. I'm just putting in a random number right now. So once you guys calculate your proper risk management and you have the lot size you would want, you would place that there. And then you would either click on sell or buy at the time that you're ready to place the trade. I'm just doing a hypothetical situation here so that way you guys can see it. So we're just going to place a buy. This will pop up. You guys have to agree. That's only one time in the very first time that you open an account. So click buy again. So we have placed our trade now, which you guys can see down here at the bottom. This is our trade that is running here in our trading terminal. You guys will see you have an order number. You have the time that the trade was placed. The time is according to your broker's time, wherever they are located at. So that is something you guys will have to figure out because the times are not going to match up with your specific time zone. So make sure you figure that out if you are somebody who wants to go back and look at time. You'll have the type of trade you placed, whether it was a buy or a sell. You have the lot size, and then the symbol, which is the pair that you are trading, and the price that you entered in for. So this is that ask price, like I was saying. This is the price that you got in according to your broker. This is your stop loss if you placed one, a take profit if you placed one, and then the price that it is. This one will constantly be moving. As you guys can see, it's moving along with the way that price is actually moving now. Then there is commission, depending on if your broker charges a commission or not. And then your actual profit will be over here. Then swap fees. If you have a swap fee, that is usually because you held from one session to another session. So hypothetically, if New York session has closed and you want to continue to hold a trade into Asian, you will have to pay a swap fee. You will also have swap fees if you hold through weekends and leave trades open over the weekends. So that's what you'll see here if you decide to hold. Those fees will be here. And every broker is different, so you guys will have to look in those details yourselves to find out what they are. But that is something that you will see there. And then you'll see your profit. That would be over here on this side. This is what that specific trade is at, but then this would be your total after fees. So that is how you would look at your trade. Now, if you wanted to just manually trade and click buy or sell and then come in and edit it to be able to add in a stop loss and take profit, what you will do is highlight your trade that you want to edit, right click it, then you're going to hit on modify or delete order. When you come up to the modify delete order area, you'll see there's a bunch of different things in here. You have to figure out which type you want to do. So you want to market execution, pending order, or modify order. We're currently already in this trade, so we would modify this order. Then we're going to basically just pick what we want to do. We want to put a stop loss in or take profit. So if you're somebody who wants to manually sit there and execute and then go in quickly and add in a stop loss and take profit, then you could do that here. So I'll show you guys what we will do. We'll just add a quick stop loss in. We're just hypotheticals here. And then we'll make a take profit. We'll say 403.02. So those are our numbers. So we're saying our stop loss, I picked right around here for this number. And I said my take profit, which I said right up here. And then what you'll hit is modify. When you hear the like noise, that means it has been executed and your broker's accepted the changes. So you'll see now our stop loss price is added in and our take profit is added in. When you come onto your screen, what you'll see is if you hover over that area of your actual stop loss, you'll get a little alert that pops up that tells you how much you will lose if this trade hits your stop loss. So in this case, if it hits our stop loss there, we will lose $5.62. However, if it hits our take profit, which was up here, same thing, hover over it, you will gain $5.73. So that is the risk management for this trade here. And that is how you could do it. You can also adjust them. Say that you accidentally put in the wrong number and you want to just drag and drop it. You can drag and drop your stop losses. So as I'm moving it along, it will change, which you guys can see in the terminal. The numbers are changing. If we hover over again, you'll see that we would now lose $9.38. Same thing with your take profit. You can pull it up along the way. Hypothetically, if you were doing well in this trade and you wanted to say the market was way up here somewhere and you wanted to trail along, you could also just drag your take profit along behind the market and you could hover over to see how much it is that you're securing. So that is how you would do it if you wanted to manually place trades this way. So I closed out that trade so you guys can see. I want to show you another way that you can do it. So sometimes some of you actually may not see one-click trading up here, but if you want to add it on your charts, you just right-click into your screen, click on one-click trading, it'll take it away if you don't like it, or if you want it on, just click on it again and it'll come back. The other way that you can place trades is if you right-click here, you can click on trading, hover over it, and then you have sell limits, buy limits. This means that like when the market gets to that price, it will execute the trade for you. So until it gets to that price point, it will not execute the trade. So this is something some people like when they are waiting for it to break out of a certain area or a certain price point. So this could be an option as well. Let's hypothetically say we want to buy. So we'll execute the trade, and until it gets up to this point, it will not take this trade, but you will see it's pending down here. So it's placed and it's waiting to do something, but it has not actually been opened yet. That's why profit is not moving at all over here. It's waiting. So until the market gets to this price point, it will not actually open that order. You can modify this. So same thing, you could come and highlight it and right click and modify, and you could change things if you wanted to. So you could change how you want it, what price you wanted it to be executed at, what date does it expire on, like so how long do you want this to be considered a possible trade for. Stop loss and take profit you can put in there for it so it would be all set to go and you wouldn't have to worry about coming back to manage the trade. So this is something you can do where you're like trying to set a trade in advance and have everything there for it ready to be triggered when it hits a certain price. You can also move this around as well, like the other one, if you want to change where you want the price to be for it to execute that trade. So it works like that for a buy stop and a sell limit. Both of them, same idea, that's a sell limit. So those are a couple of ways that you will get placing the trade on MT4. So lastly, what I would like to show you guys before I wrap up this video is actually the pairs over here on the side, which you can edit and change these all around to however you want. You can move them, like maybe you want Bitcoin at the top and USD at the bottom. You just click on them and drag them to wherever you would want them to be. But also, when you're looking for specific details about that pair and what are your broker's details for that pair, what you'll do is highlight the pair that you're interested in knowing about. So we'll look at Bitcoin. And you'll right click it, then hit on specifications. Once you click on specifications, a window will pop up like this and you'll see all of these details here that give you the specifics for your broker and that pair. So a big thing that we see a lot of the time is contract size. A lot of people don't know that this will vary depending on the instrument that you're trading. And brokers may have a couple of different contract sizes depending on what you're trading. So in this case, you can see we have a contract size of 1 for Bitcoin. But if we look at DAX, the German 30, it will be a different contract size. That's 100. So this is important to know when you're going to do your risk management. When you're putting in your details into your risk management calculator, you want to know what is the contract size and how does that affect the lot size. The Forex pairs will have all of the same contract size. So you can see for theirs is 100,000. So this is something you do want to be aware of. Just because it's a CFD or maybe it's a Forex pair or whatever, it may have a different contract size for your brokers, and every broker will be different. So you guys should come in, find the pairs that you are planning on trading, add them into your market watch box, and just run through the contract sizes quickly so you know what contract size you're trading with, so that way there's no surprises when you go and enter in your lot sizes. And my last tip is to please make sure that you're paying attention to what chart is up. So make sure you have the right chart pulled over at the time that you're entering into a trade, and make sure that you're always double checking your lot sizes, because like I just said, that contract size will make a difference depending on your pairs that you're trading. And the worst thing you can do is place the wrong size lot on the wrong type of pair, because that can do some really big damage to an account if it goes wrong. So please make sure you guys are always double checking yourselves. You don't need to rush through placing your trades. If you're newer, I highly suggest trading on a little bit of a higher time frame, like a 15-minute or higher, so you don't feel panicked or rushed to place these trades. Make sure you're taking the time to double check everything. In order to close your trades out quickly, if you do make a mistake and you're panicking and you don't know what to do, you over here on the side, you just click the X. So if you want to close it out before it hits your take profit or your stop loss, you just close that X and it'll close the trade out for you. To see the history, you'll come to account history, and now that we've taken a few trades and placed them, you can see all the different things that we just did on the account. So that is where you will see the history of everything on your account if you need it for any reason. This is a very basic overview of MetaTrader 4 and 5, but like I had already said, please go in and play with it, play around on demo, get used to it, get comfortable placing trades. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the Discord. Hello, so this video is going to be for those members who are trying to figure out how to download, install, and also use MT4 platform. There is MT5 version as well. It is exactly the same for the most part. So if you are somebody who is going to upgrade to MT5, please feel free to watch this video and still follow the same steps. However, MT4 is the most commonly used platform when it comes to placing trades through your broker. There is the opportunity to trade through TradingView directly, depending on your broker. And if you have a broker that is supported through TradingView, you are one of the lucky ones, and you can trade directly through TradingView. However, many of us are stuck trading with MT4, meaning we will do our markups and analysis on TradingView. Then we will go to MT4 to actually place the trade with our broker. Many brokers are still using MT4 to execute their trades. So if you are one of these people who need to